वर्तमान में जारी 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे, यानी ये मुद्राएं कानूनन अमान्य होगी। 500 और 1000 रुपये के पुरानी नोटों के जरिए लेन देन की व्यवस्था आज मध्यरात्रि से उपलब्ध नहीं होगी।
Yesterday, if I remember correctly, our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, declared that 500 and 1000 rupee note is not valid anymore. With over 17,30,000 crore rupees in circulation in India, which is equivalent to roughly $265 billion, 500 and 1000 rupee note comprises of 86% of this overall circulation, which is equal to roughly 10.5% of the GDP of India. Now, before I continue with this, I want to congratulate on this bold move to fight against corruption and black money that our government has actually done now. Here is what's going to happen. First, let's break it down to you. Many of those holding 500 and 1000 rupee note, that is the black money, are very unlikely to come forward to exchange or deposit these notes in the bank, fearing the income tax raids and whatnot. So probably we are looking at approximately 3 lakh crores, which is equivalent to $50 billion worth of money going to waste. So it's going to be worthless. This looks more or less a push towards cashless transactions from now on. But then this move will definitely hit the poor, the rural area, the lower middle class, the middle class, and most of the upper middle class as well. However, upper middle class and the middle class probably might be using online transactions more often than not. So needless to say, the majority of the transactions are conducted using cash only, such as property, automotive sector, etc., etc. So push towards electronic economy might be one of the biggest steps taken by our country till date. In fact, this is one of the biggest steps in the world, and none of the countries comes close to it. Expected to reduce the inflation by approximately 5%, which is an awesome news. And first we need POS systems to be installed in all the shops and the vendors for any large transactions over 500 bucks or so. So after abolishing 1000 rupee note concept, which is reducing the black money, here is my question. Why are you introducing 2000 rupee note at all? I mean, wouldn't that be also a part of the black money circle later on? Here are the disadvantages of the move that our great Prime Minister has made. Now, there is a cost involved in printing all these notes, which varies in denomination of 1000 and 500. Now, as per few articles that I read online, I got to know that each of these notes are printed, and the cost of printing is around about 3 rupees to 5 rupees, between 3 to 5 rupees for 500 rupee note and 1000 rupee note. So keeping in mind that 86% of the cash in India has become worthless, that is like printing 86% of the cash that we the taxpayers are paying for has been dumped. So assuming that all the notes are printed for 3 rupees each, Now that alone is staggering 888 crore rupees that has been dumped. So after that, now there is another point, that is investing into printing these new notes with nanotechnology and whatnot. Now that might cost around about I'm pretty sure that it's going to cost more than 3 rupees per note. So assuming the fact that we have to go ahead and print 86% of the cash again, or probably a 100 rupee note also, if you go ahead and start printing, we are looking at least 1,000 crores of another waste of money. So that is what has happened over here. This is the disadvantage number one. After this, there is a huge impact in the small business that strives on day-to-day cash transactions, which is like 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 rupees, etc., etc. So they will suffer a big blow for a short term, and the new note, 2,000 rupee note or a 500 rupee note, need to be in a plenty of supply within the economy to ensure that there is a smoother flow, or else lots of people are going to suffer. Now lots means lots, because India is majority of Indian population is not the middle class or the upper class. It is the poor that is the majority of India. And considering the fact that 80% or so are poor or below an average income, now what happens is that those people are the ones who are going to suffer the most at end of the day, because most of them don't have bank accounts, they don't have PAN cards, they don't pay taxes, they don't have a clue how to actually go ahead and do this. Now we are educated, we have access to internet, we can go ahead and check it out online, as where we can go ahead and give these notes and get it replaced with a 100 rupee note or whatever it is. Now how about those people who are poor? I mean, Mr. Prime Minister, did you even think about this at all? Or did you just want to beat around the bush, or was there another political angle to it? Because what I see is that you're not actually getting the black money back in India. The black money, that is $1.7 trillion worth of black money or so, probably even more, I'm not sure. That is all in the Swiss banks and all the other banks abroad, not in India. So this move is not going to bring your black money back in India, no, because those actually who are having this black money in India probably might not be even having it in cash. They might have invested in gold or property or whatnot. I mean, just think about it. Now, just before you made this move, there is a huge announcement from Reliance stating that they will go ahead and give free internet 4G pack to everyone till 31st of December. And that move is a huge move from Reliance. Probably even we don't even know who is investing in that kind of an infrastructure, who is doing what, how much of cash has been given away in this venture of Reliance. But look at it. I mean, your RBI governor happens to be the ex-finance advisor for Reliance. So, is that a coincidence? That's a question that any person with a little bit of common sense will ask. So, what's going on over here? So we, the people, are the ones who are suffering. And just to let you know, even in major cities, like for example, now I'm in Hyderabad, major cities, hospitals are not taking 500 or 1000 rupee note. FYI, I cannot go ahead and buy medicines. I can't even, I mean, if I have to buy, say for example, medicine which is worth of 150 rupees, I can't even swipe my card if I don't have 100 denomination note, then I can't actually go ahead and purchase that medicine because they won't take it. And as a biker biker's point of view, look at the fuel. I mean, all the petrol pumps are either closed or they're not accepting 500. If they are accepting 500 rupees, what they're saying is that we have to put 500 rupee worth petrol or 1000 rupee worth petrol, or else I have to swipe my card and get the fuel. And swiping my card means I am going to give extra money to the bank for no reason whatsoever. So now, who is going to suffer over here? We the people? Or you're getting the black money again? I mean, I don't understand this. So before I go ahead and keep talking the aftermath of what has happened, I just want you all to know that this is probably one of the best moves by the government till date, and I really want to pat on the backs of all the people who are actually working over there, because they have made this bold move in order to get India out of those who are inserting fake notes inside our economy and threatening our national interest and national security overall. The financial stability all depends on the real notes, not the fake ones. And this is what has actually started causing a lot of trouble even in the previous government, but the previous government didn't do anything at all. At least this government did something. So my only concern is, why were the banks not ready with a 100 rupee note, or why banks didn't get the new notes at least in advance, or probably if it was a surprise, you could have at least sent it out the very same day, so that the banks might not have been aware of before your announcement, but the next day they might have got the notes for the exchange. Why was that not done? We probably will suffer for a few days, but why was there no plans ahead of schedule to make a smoother transition here? That is what the question is. I mean, in terms of the plan, master plan, excellent, but in terms of executing the plan is by far the worst one that I have ever seen. To be honest, see, all the citizens of India, everyone will agree in the fact that this is a very good move. But everyone would also agree that this move could have been done much better. Not this way, at least. Having said that, I also want to let you guys know that ideally, I spoke about inflation earlier. Inflation and deflation. Those who are not familiar with these terms, now ideally, if 100% of the people have all white money in 500 and 1000 rupee denomination, then we would see only inflation, not deflation. So if a lot of people have black money, and if many people decided to waste the money instead of depositing it in the bank, this would show us a deflation in the short term. But what if there is a heavy deflation and a heavy drop in prices? That is what the government is actually aiming at. But then we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Which I predict that this move will bring in corrupt money, but not in a lump sum amount, which is in Swiss banks and all the other things. Those who have big black money accounts within India would have obviously invested somewhere already, and probably this might not work according to plan when it comes to getting the black money out. But then it's an excellent.
अरे भैया 500 ही है, अगर मैंने डालना है तो होगा। 300 का डालना है, बट 500 का नोट है, इसीलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ मैं आपसे। पूरा 500 डालना नहीं है क्या? चलो जो निकलो यहाँ से। हाँ सबको दे रहे हैं ऑलरेडी, सारे चिल्लर तो खत्म हो ही गए।